Bradley Walsh has always had a way of making people feel at ease. His laugh arrives before he does, his humor softens any room, and his presence feels familiar, like an old friend you can always count on. For decades, audiences have known him as the entertainer who never fails to lift spirits. But away from the applause and bright lights, there's another role he treasures far more deeply: being a father. And recently, that role stepped gently into the spotlight in a way no one saw coming. His son, usually relaxed, cheerful, and quietly confident, chose a moment of honesty that felt raw, warm, and surprisingly tender. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, it was something far more powerful, real. For years, people have admired the bond between father and son. Their playful exchanges, the easy jokes, the shared smiles, it all seemed effortless. But behind that ease lived thoughts left unspoken, emotions carefully tucked away, and questions that lingered quietly in the background. In one heartfelt moment, Bradley Walsh's son finally opened up about what it truly feels like to grow up beside a beloved public figure. He spoke not with frustration, but with reflection, not with bitterness, but with gratitude mixed gently with vulnerability. He shared how proud he has always been of his father, yet admitted that finding his own voice sometimes took longer than expected. When your last name is already known by millions, the pressure to live up to it without losing yourself can be heavier than anyone realizes. There was something beautifully human in the way he explained it. A touch of self-aware humor slipped in, making the moment lighter without taking away its sincerity. He laughed at himself, joked about expectations, and smiled as if finally setting down a weight he'd been carrying quietly for years. Donna Derby's reaction said everything. She didn't interrupt, she didn't rush in with words, she simply listened, with eyes full of pride and a smile that spoke of deep understanding. Anyone watching could see how much love fills that family, not the flashy kind, but the steady, reassuring kind that makes people feel safe enough to be honest. Bradley's response was gentle, almost poetic in its simplicity. A soft laugh, a nod, a look that only a parent can give, a mix of pride, relief, and admiration. No speeches were needed. His body language alone made it clear. This wasn't a surprise to him. It was a moment he had been ready for. There was romance in that silence, not the kind found in grand gestures, but in mutual respect. In a father allowing his son to grow into his own space, in a family choosing understanding over expectations. What followed was laughter, real laughter, the kind that bubbles up naturally after a meaningful conversation, breaking the tension and reminding everyone that joy and honesty can exist side by side. Jokes flew easily, smiles widened, and suddenly the atmosphere felt lighter, brighter, and full of possibility. Viewers felt it instantly. Messages poured in from people who saw themselves reflected in that exchange. Parents who recognized the delicate balance of guiding without controlling. Children who understood the quiet pressure of being compared, even when those comparisons come from love. Couples who admired how Bradley and Donna create a space where feelings aren't dismissed, but welcomed. What made the moment exciting wasn't revelation, it was connection. Bradley Walsh's son wasn't stepping away from his family's legacy, he was stepping forward with confidence. He made it clear that he values where he comes from, while also embracing who he is becoming. That kind of honesty doesn't divide families, it brings them closer. Donna's presence remained grounding throughout. Her calm support added warmth to every word spoken. She didn't need to say much because her expressions spoke volumes: pride, trust, love. And yes, humor never left the room. Even in the middle of emotional reflection, the family's natural charm shone through. Playful teasing softened serious thoughts. Laughter reminded everyone that this is a family that thrives on joy, even when conversations get deep.
There's something incredibly attractive about that balance. It's why audiences remain drawn to them, not because of fame, but because of authenticity. They don't pretend life is perfect. They show that growth comes with honesty and that strength can be gentle. This moment reminded viewers that confidence isn't something you're born with, it's something you build, often with the support of people you love most. It showed that even families admired from afar face moments of reflection, change, and renewal. Bradley Walsh has spent years entertaining millions, but in this quiet exchange, he didn't perform at all. He simply listened. And in doing so, he showed that the greatest role he's ever played is one filled with patience, humor, and unconditional love. The excitement continues because this story isn't finished. Audiences are now watching with anticipation, not curiosity fueled by drama, but genuine interest in what lies ahead. How will Bradley's son continue to shape his path? How will this family grow together while staying true to who they are? If this moment proved anything, it's that people crave sincerity. They want stories that feel real. They connect with laughter that isn't forced and emotion that isn't exaggerated. And somewhere between the smiles, the jokes, and the quiet pride, viewers were reminded of something powerful. Families don't need perfection to be inspiring. They only need honesty, love, and the courage to speak from the heart. If stories like this resonate with you, if you enjoy moments that blend warmth, humor, and real emotion, stay connected, keep following these journeys, and share this story with someone who believes family conversations matter. Because sometimes the moments that stay with us the longest are the ones that simply feel true.